자, 방송 이제 시작 들어갔습니다. 자, 들어갔으니까 이제부터 시작하겠습니다.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Asia Vision Forum. As you know, the last Sunday, new president of Indonesia, Mr. 쁘라보워 was officially inaugurated as president of Indonesia, as well as Mr. Gibran,
Yes.
the eldest son of outgoing President Jokowi, as vice president. So we invited a very special guest today, Mr. Sa우다란다 Tarigan.
Yes, thank you.
So welcome to Asia Vision Forum, and we are so delighted to have you here at Asia Vision Forum. So we'll be very happy to hear from you, your ideas and the suggestions and perspective about the future of new Indonesia. Today we are joined by two Korean specialists, Mr. Bang Jong-hwan. He's a board member of Asia Vision Forum, and he's doing business in Indonesia. He wrote many books and columns on Indonesia and Indonesia-Korea business relations. And we have another specialist, Dr. Jang Ji-sun. He's a professor of Sangmyeong University. He has been extensively involved in the Korea's ODA projects in the field of education and training, including the migrant workers matter, for more than 20 years. So he's a specialist on this particular issue. So thank you, Mr. Bang and Professor Jang, for joining us today. The topics we're gonna discuss today are three.
Okay.
So number one, how do you prospect the future of new Indonesia of President 쁘라보워, particularly how do you see the political stability and the economic policies and the potential, the areas of cooperation, the Korean businesses should get more attention from now on. And topic number two, from your long experiences in academic as well as business circle, what suggestions or what advices do you want to give the Korean business partners to further strengthen partnership from now on? And number three, the final topic today, there are many Indonesian workers working in Korea. So to facilitate and to further strengthen the cooperation in this area, so what should be done? So we'll be very happy to hear your suggestions and ideas and perspective. So the first topic, before going to today's topic, can you tell us about your personal background as well as what have you done to boost economic cooperation between the two countries? I saw your resume and very impressive.
Thank you.
Please.
Well, thank you, Ambassador Kim, for inviting me to participate in this Asia Vision Forum. And I heard this is the first podcast for Asians who are living in Seoul.
Yeah.
Yes, my name is, as I was introduced, Sa우다란다 Tarigan. I've been working with Korean over 25 years. I started in Indonesia and also in Korea. I've been living in Korea for the last, in total, it's about more than 12 years. And for the last 7 years, I'm working in a law firm. We have Indonesian Korean Business Advisory Center. So through this center, I've been working to help to connect between Korean business and also in Indonesia. And also we have an Indonesian desk at our law firm. And there are around 7 desks, not only Indonesian, but also China, Mongolia, Vietnam, and some other countries. So we are helping also Indonesians who are working here. So for the last 7 years, we've been handling many cases related to Indonesian workers. But also through the center, Indonesian Business Center, we've been working with many Korean who are interested in Indonesia to invest. So while I'm also doing the work, I'm also teaching in Handong. I did my study here in Korea 2 times.
2 times?
2 times. I came to Korea 20 years ago, first time. 2004 and 2006, I did Jewish doctor program in Handong International Law School. And then recently also I got my PhD in law.
What brought you to Korea? What motivated you to at the first time?
The first time, yeah. I met Korean first time in 1995. So it's almost 29 years ago. And then he was a professor in Indonesia.
Oh.
And then I had many time meetings. And we have a community in Yogyakarta where I was studying. Well, during that time I met...
What is his name, the Korean professor?
Professor Son Chang-nam. Son Chang-nam. He was working, he was accounting professor at one of the local university.
In Gajah-Mada?
Not in Gajah-Mada, Yogyakarta. But we have a community. And through that kind of community, I met many Korean who visited Yogyakarta and here and there. And in 2000, I visited Korea first time. It's 24 years ago. We had a conference here. So through that, I'm interested in Korea. And then luckily, I got a scholarship. So then I came here. That's one, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
So we are moving to the first topic. It will be chaired by Professor Chang. Please come.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Professor Chang, right?
Yeah. First time I saw your resume. You have a lot of work in Korea and Indonesia.
Yes.
Kinds of very kind of work. So the first question Ambassador Kim already asked you. The first question is why you come to here to study Korea?
Why I came to Korea?
Yeah. Just the same issues.
Yeah, the same issue.
So like you explain about the process of the scholarship or the
yes.
time in university and anything.
Yes. I was lucky while I was working with Korean professor in Yogyakarta. And I was introduced to the school who were looking also a foreign student because the school was newly open. So they provided a scholarship and I applied. And luckily I was accepted. So that's why I studied law, because my background was not law. My background was economics and psychology. And it turns there is an opportunity to study law. So it's unique. So then I study business, economics, psychology, and law. And all this kind of education background is very much helpful to work now with in terms of helping businessmen and also in international area. Yes.
And the very good opportunity for you.
Yes.
Study in Korea. Yeah, you are lucky. So I think so. You have I thought you have the first stage about the initial readers of studying Korea from Indonesia. I think so. 20,000 years.
20 years ago. This is interesting, and I see for the last 20 years how Korean attract a lot of foreign students. Back then, in 2004, only less than 250 foreign students who study in graduate school. Less than 250. But now if you see after 20 years, for those who study in graduate school, it's maybe 30,000, and in total numbers, I think now almost 200,000. Back then, only 17,000 foreigners who study here, including those who study foreign language, who study Korean language. So undergraduate and graduate school, the number of students, foreign students, very small. So, and I was the first Indonesian who studied at Handong. That was also a unique thing. So back then, foreign students very rare here. So there was some advantage, but also some disadvantage, meaning that not many Koreans were very well aware of the foreign student. But now, foreign students everywhere. So I think Korean successful invited many foreigners studying.
Of course, now the Korean university, they want the number of the increase of the students.
Yes.
Because of our population is.
Yeah, that's another issue.
So, how about your idea? If some Korean universities they want increase the number of students from foreign students.
Yes.
What have some good idea for your side?
Yes, Korean not only education sectors, but many other industry also got the benefit from the Korean popular, music and drama that help us. That help the Korean to attract money, and they were aware about Korea, including also the school. So many students and parents also consider that they would like to send their children to Korea. But if making a decision come to Korea to study, it's different from making student for tourism.
Yes, right.
Tourism, okay, I want to go there, and then you can make a decision because it's just very short time and simple. You don't cost a lot. But making a decision to choose the school and study because it will be related to your career for the future, and also money, time. Right. So now at the level, I guess, even though Korean school or Korean university, or because of many, popular song and others, is still at the level of awareness. They are aware, but when they want to make into detail like a decision to go, you should do a little bit more approach. You cannot just promote from here, come here and decide. But I think you need to come, the university who want to come to invite more students, need to come to Indonesia. So they have to approach, go to school, by school, and then talk with the parents, so they can make a decision. Because many middle class family, they are able to send them here, but parents also have many consideration, and also many other options, maybe like what is traditionally known for Indonesian to study, like Singapore, very close, or also Malaysia, or Australia, or some probably in the US. So, and also Japan. So in that case, if your question is what should you do, I generally suggest that they don't. It's not enough if there's just one visit there and then promote one-time event or just making a booth. It's not enough, I guess. But you have to be specific. Let's say visit in a particular city or region. Then you have a partner, the university partner there, and they work together. For example, I was approached by also some university, which suggest to work with my center. We have a Korean center in Medan. Rather than you just have a promotion or boosting a promotion, but we can cooperate, and then we can become an agent. We can, from time to time, to follow up. Let's say, if they have more information, and to convince the parent who make a decision, because not the student who make the decision, but parents. That's my
Yeah, it's a very good idea for your suggestion, because of the parents is always.
Parents are making decisions, not the student. Even though you attract the student, whatever you say, but they are not the decision maker.
Yes, I think so. Your point is maybe 2 points. One is discuss with the parents.
Yes.
Second thing, work with the partners. Good
partner who help you and then cooperate with as well.
Yes, very nice. Okay. In another issue about your major, you're the lawyer about the migrant workers.
Yes.
Yeah. So in Korea we have the EPS system, you know, the employment permit system.
Employment permit system.
Yeah. E9 visa.
Yes.
So you are also working about the workers in Indonesia who are working in Korea. So I think so. You have some the customer about the Indonesian customer about the workers.
Yes.
What kinds of the issues they request you about your the role regard assistance?
Yes. There are about 50,000 Indonesians now
Here
in Korea.
in
Yes.
Korea. Yeah.
So 90% are workers,
Yes.
and then I guess most of them come here through EPS,
Yes.
employment permit system, because this is G2G program.
Yes.
When we talk about the G2G program, the employment permit system, I think it's one of the best
Yes.
among other systems. The G2G program and sending of foreign workers compared to other countries. So the supporting system also from the government, I see they provide a lot of center.
Yeah.
So whenever the workers have trouble, they can contact. At least they can get help from the very basic information if they need it, or to communicate with the employer if they have some trouble, especially in language.
Yes.
So the most trouble actually for foreigners here, especially for Indonesian, is about language. That's which commonly is not only just for Indonesian. So if they have any legal problem, they generally shelter can help.
Ah, yeah.
Right. But there are some also workers who already have, for example, they have overstay.
Yeah. 5 years.
5 years they overstay, which is also some issue with the government. But in terms of their right, they also need to be protected
Yes.
in terms of as a worker, right?
Yes.
So their position is a very, very vulnerable
Yeah.
because they overstay here and they are working. So generally there are many employer treat them not well because they are vulnerable.
Yeah.
And they sometimes threaten them. Oh, if you make a trouble, I will report you.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of an issue. So those people sometimes need help to represent them, to deal or to negotiate or to sue the employer. Generally, there are two types of issues to that. First is unpaid salary and unpaid 대지금, or they have some work accident. So this is general. Other cases are very rare, particularly in Indonesia case. Not many people have a criminal case.
Yes.
So no other issues. There are some cases also related to international marriage among Korean and Indonesia, but very few. Generally, we can give just general advice for the particular issues.
Yeah. Because of the EPS has the target is the E9 visa. That is like the simple workers, just workers.
Yes, non-professional.
Yeah, there's no need to the technical technology. So we have also the human resource, the good skilled human resource.
Yeah.
The time is the E7 visa.
Yes.
So we give to them the benefit for the E7 visa.
Yes.
Who study in Korea, actually they get about the bachelor degree in Korea or master degree.
Yes.
They can find a good job in Korea.
Yes.
They live in Korea. They have very good conditions.
Yes.
That is another way.
Yes.
E9 visa is a EPS system. E7 visa in another things.
Yes.
So I think Indonesia has allowed the future of the population and also the young people in there. So what's your prospect about between the Korea and Indonesia on the human resource development? How do we each other, improve each other, both countries?
Yes. When we talk about immigrant, then the key issue is about the immigration rules.
Ah,
When you are inviting
People.
talents or professionals, there are certain requirements that already set by the immigration law, which is sometimes it does not match.
yes, yes, yes.
For instance, let's say in shipbuilding industry,
Yes, yes,
okay, you need a lot of welders,
yes.
you need a lot of painters,
Painters,
and all others,
electrician.
electrician.
Yes.
What is strange thing that in Korea you require undergraduate or master with certain experience on the field. You want to be expert in it, which is not the case in Indonesia. If you are undergraduate, you don't go that kind of work. So you will not find a professional who have an expertise if they have the degree. So those generally non-degree or they have only, let's say here, a polytechnic. It's just below undergraduate, which is in that case will never match. Actually, we have a lot of resources professionals. They are good at that kind of work, but they have a trouble because the requirement you have to undergraduate, you have to do like this one. Then it doesn't matter, right? Because in Korea maybe even you go work like that kind of type because high pay doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter. Generally, undergraduate don't go into work. So that kind of thing is from the Korean government about policy. They have to think about each country different. So that sometimes doesn't match. Okay. Yeah, and then also, for example, they need requirement 5 years experience and have to be verified. And all those documents sometimes. You see, not all company in Indonesia well documented, and sometimes they fail for fulfilling the administration, but they are really good actually. The kind of things. Just one example. Of course, there are many other issues that you need to consider.
Yes, your idea about we need some like standard for each others.
Yeah, to have to communicate.
Yeah.
If you want to get this one, you have to know also what happened in India. Then, of course, Korea invited from many other countries. If you do like EPS, the standard is only language.
Yes,
It's easier.
Yeah.
But when you comes into professional, then there should be flexibility
Yeah.
in terms of the regulation.
Yeah, of course. We need a more flexible qualifications.
Yes, the
because of
qualification.
it's different the condition of each country.
Right.
And how about like this? In Korean government, we have another programs about the EPS workers. When they complete their mission in the almost 5 years, and then they back to their countries.
Yes.
And then the Korean government want to give to some the benefit to returning workers because of when they want to stay in their countries, they have to do work.
Yes.
They want to start new business or they have a new program, something like this. So in Korean government give to some support if they want staying in their countries. What kinds of your opinion about that programs?
Yes, that's something new for me. But what I understand that now what Korea do in terms of EPS, they give the first 5 years, which is 4 years and 10 months.
10 months.
And then they have an opportunity to be re-entry on the same period of time. And after that, for those who have qualified a certain kind of requirement, they can change their visa into E7, right? Which in that case, they can continuously work here in Korea to be non-professional without limited time. I think that idea, which was introduced a couple of years ago, was a good idea. Meaning that the Korean government can maintain and retain those who are skillful. Because in this system now, every 5 years you got a new one. While you're working, you change again, and while you're working now here, if you're already 5 years and then they're already skillful, that should be valuable. But the issue now, it should be a concern, but there is kind of discrimination between the local and the foreigners. For example, foreigners, 5 years, 10 years, their salary increase is just based on the government regulation. There is no position, only the same position. You cannot promote it, right? This is unfair.
Yes.
Even sometimes you just 3 years, 3 years, but you already 10 years, you become a subordinate. You cannot be supervisor. While they are more skillful. While Korean, they are maybe 2 years work, but because they are Korean, they become a supervisor, which is, I think you have to think about that. So that also demotivate for foreigner to stay longer.
Yes.
But if you can see, oh, there is some progress, that I can have certain position, and then I can continuously here, then maybe it's a good also to do. Of course, now you mentioned that how to help them, it is a good idea too. But the thing is, because generally the 16 countries is in terms of economic, they're lower than Korea. So it's very tempted to them. When they'll go to Indonesia, they want to come back here again. Because this is their dream. It's easier to get money. You know, just starting business, the successful rate is very low. Particularly you just a worker, and then without any passion. And this is what happened. So if the government want to help them, maybe they provide some skills. Post worker here, skill that probably can be useful for them, and then do something, opening business or others. But do not try to ask them to be a businessman, because the successful rate is very low.
Yes.
It's better to equip them with some skills that they can use it later. For those who don't, what we can do, but to be effective with the government budget. Give them selection and train them what kind of passion they want. So they want to do something skillful, which they can carry with themselves.
Yes.
This is something they need to consider.
It's your opinion about your suggestion is a very good implications about the Korean side. So that is I think our government and also the as well as the university also need to the research. With the partners,
Yes.
and we understand about the real situation in the E9 visa or E7 visa, and also those in countries.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think these issues is we have a lot of. If we have a lot of time, we need a more discuss about that. But this is part 1.
Yes.
I think so.
We can start with a full program. Next time.
And I think we will discuss more further the cooperation later.
Yes.
Also, we are just starting for you and me,
No problem.
and as a young problem in your company also.
Yes.
We will just starting for human resource side.
No problem.
And then I think thank you for coming today.
No problem.
Yes, we will discuss many things.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. No problem.
Do you want water or coffee?
Yeah, we can.
Just
Oh yes.
일을 많이 해가지고 내용 많이 하시네.
워터가 이거예요? 아니다. 맛있던 게 없나?
Is it okay? My position like here?
Here.
Oh, I have to look because I have to do this one. Oh, please correct it.
아니 저는 저기 대사님 좀 가봐야 돼서
네, 들어가세요. 네.
계속 저기
중요한 날입니다.
나중에 이 문제만 가지고 별도로 한번 전문가 자담
같으니까
Yes. Next time. Thank you.
touch. Okay.
Sure, please. No problem.
예.
오늘이 강한 힘.
가야죠. 가셔야지.
하시면 됩니다.
Okay, Dr. Darigan,
Yes,
let us
Ambassador.
move to next topic.
Sure.
Well, you have a new president,
Yes.
and Mr. 쁘라보워, he was the ex-general,
Yes.
and he has a very strong leadership and charisma.
Yes.
And I learned he recently unveiled his vision, which is called the Asta Sita vision. Asta Sita means 8 goals,
Right.
and is the priority programs.
Yes.
And even though he emphasized and he's known to act to play an active role in foreign relations and defense.
Yes.
Looking at his priority programs, I've got the impression that he put higher priority on domestic issues like free meal program and the healthcare and education and the housing programs and so on. So how do you see the future of 쁘라보워 administration's policy in the future?
Yes.
Particularly in light of the potential area of cooperation between Indonesia and Korean business.
Yes. It's a really big topic for me.
So you are free to give us very broad and simple picture.
Yes. Certainly, I should underline that my comment, my view, and my perspective as an Indonesian who live overseas.
Yeah.
So in that sense, then I'm observing what's going on in the country from afar, not in Jakarta. So this is different, right? So yes, we are expecting, we are excited because we knew our president. And then in the general view, I have a positive feeling, and also I see in terms of economic growth, for example, and also politics, that in a positive, gesture, right? Of course, why? First, we talk about the political stability. You have more experience than how to say that. How he
we share many things in our recent history.
Right. So how he embraced all the political party except only one or two to guarantee the political stability, because in that context, almost similar with what happened under the previous administration, Mr. Jokowi. So I think this is the foundation if we talk anything related to what going to be happen in Indonesia, particularly with the economy. Because first is political stability, which is now he tried to secure. And the second one, he also, in my sense, if we can see the cabinet, now the cabinet postures, I bet there are 17 or 16 ministers from the previous administration and now belong to. So what we can infer from that, the situation means there's no much no thing probably there are no, but it means that there may be some continuity from the previous administration and to the next one, at least for the next 5 years. Of course, we have some concern with the numbers of ministers, the cabinet. There's going to be some concern related how to coordinate. Because there are many ministry, department, they don't even have an office now. So this is going to be an issue. But interesting thing, because he, as you mentioned, pointed out, he's a general. And naturally, you see, in the last 3 days, if you observe how he lead, it already shows that he's a general. And then what he do, that he called all the minister to go to the camp. Did you know about that one?
Yes, I heard.
Yeah.
He will bring all members of
to the military academy.
To have a workshop.
So this is interesting, never happened in history of Indonesia, how they do. So the way he approached his leadership will be something distinguished from the previous one. And then you see how the way he talk and the way how it brings something, a passion that we have. And then I think that could be something influence a lot, because we have to see the praises, the man behind the gun, it's everything. Of course, we can talk many other programs, but the man behind the gun is really, really determined. So for that issues, as a leader, as the new president, we can see there is a potential for him, because the typical leadership like he has, I think what the Indonesians need to be strong. Why? Because we are a big country, we have a diversity, and for that one we need someone who have a strong control. it doesn't mean that I'm supporting for authoritarian. No, it's just different things. But he has to be able to control his administration, which is now he's starting to do that one. Even from the very first day, they were ready to do that. So what is going to be the prospect? Yeah, it's positive in the sense, but there's some no's. Because we already have some fundamentals, which is whoever president, the positive gesture can be assumed. Because we have a market, huge market. Then 270 million is already, something, it's already inherent that which is a potential for developing economics as well. And then also, as many quoted, related to demographic bonus, which is also young people. It's a market, but also a productive manpower that can be utilized. And then also we have natural resources, which is still something we can maximize. But also there are other areas, which is the coastal economics, which have not been exposed, which I think Korea have to be focused, maybe go to that one, because Korea has been developed a little bit more better than Indonesia and have more experience in coastal area, which is Indonesia is huge actually, right? So in that stance, then Indonesia have a potential under the new president. But if you question, for example, now to be more specific, what is my concern? If you also listening to his first speech, and then also his target in economy, 8%.
Very ambitious target.
Very ambitious target. That's well, to be honest, we have to be questionable. Of course, you may have ambitions, he may have a passion to do, but the reality, I don't think it's going to be easy. Why? We can just easily look into what the President Prabowo for the last 10 years. He started his term in 2014 with 7%, but until he resigned, no single years they can achieve 7%. Only 5% in average. In that situation, even the first term, which is the best term of the President Jokowi, he could not reach that one. And then he used very maximize the loan and all other spending to boost the economy. He could not. But now, the current president, after 10 years, the loan have to be paid. So in that case, then, from fiscal side, it's held limited for Prabowo to, to boost economy using the spending from the government. That's also one concern. So to be more precise, if we talk about relationship between Indonesia and Korea, the businessmen, the area that probably government, Korea and Indonesia and also the businessmen, I think as you already pointed out, the first issue that the government want to focus on in a couple of years is internal, because this is serious. And then what he pointed out on the first day, he said, it's about how to eradicate poverty.
Okay.
Yeah, poverty is an issue.
Poverty.
Really, and the gap between region. If they don't handle it, no matter we cannot go out. If these domestic issues cannot be handled, poverty is very serious, and particularly related to the gap between region. Somebody says that 10% of Indonesians then they accumulate 70% out there. So that's a serious issue. So I think he should work on that. I think that's a good point. And then in terms of the policy, economic policy, we don't know yet now, but we can assume with the economic teams, almost the same person, the Minister of Finance still, and then the coordinator,
Sri
Mulyani, the senior minister also,
Aylangga,
still there. So
General Luhut,
so those people remain. So nothing much different, I guess, at least for the last 2 years.
Okay, thank you very much for your kind explanation. But the political culture and political environment of Indonesia and Korea quite different. So not easy to understand what's going on in Indonesia, particularly the big cabinet.
Yes.
And actually, about 7 different political parties joined the Prabowo's administration. It's a big coalition government. Korea rarely experienced in recent history. So we need some study to to correctly understand what's going on in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yes, yes.
And at the inauguration ceremony, which was held last Sunday, the Korea's Prime Minister
Yes.
they attended to convey congratulations to President Prabowo as well as people of Indonesia. And he held a one-on-one meeting with President Prabowo and discussed on the cooperation between the two countries. And it was reported that there were 3 areas of cooperation stressed: the electric vehicle and infrastructure, and defense industries. So I think there are many other areas. So how do you see the future business and economic cooperation between the two countries from your long the experiences in business sector? What are the hurdles or what suggestions can you do to facilitate cooperation?
Yes.
In a broad,
Yes, yes. I think 3 points. The area where Korea, also from the previous administration, they are dealing with the electric vehicle because LG already, Hyundai already there, and then the infrastructure with all those many
power plants,
also all I think they have been there, and defense probably a new issues where Korea
very hot issue.
The cooperation also didn't work very much well.
Strategic area.
Right. But I think Korea has been proven this day that defense industry is growing.
Yeah.
Well, many other countries also interested with the product of military.
Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe and all those things. Then, but we have to recall that Indonesian traditionally they tend to focus on Europe or the United States in terms of the military equipment. Never been to Asia. So Asia is something new.
Korea is the first.
Korea is the first.
Yes.
So it is normal. Then in that area, I think the government need to work how to convince the president, because the president who made the decision which direction, particularly the product of this one. So, but if you ask other area, well, it should be a few of the businessmen. Businessmen know which one actually, which one is generating profit, right? And now many Korean. When I was working in Indonesia, Korean was very much interested with coal, for example. I had an experience in 2008, for instance. I work in. That was where the coal industry.
Yeah.
The price goes up to $100 per ton, from maybe 35 or something like that. And then many Koreans were just rush doing this one, but many people were cry, fail for that one. Just to illustrate that, to give attention that Korea tends to be like pali-pali in terms of doing business with the.
But in Indonesia, pelan-pelan.
So when they're pali-pali, they sometimes forget they are not aware there are some dangers, and because they already, this is something, they already excited. And then it brings to the failure. So, of course, in business, they always say the first thing you have to find the good partner, But of course, it's not easy. We can say that one. So, what we can do as a professional, find a second opinion whenever you work with others partner. Like say, that's the role of a professional who help to work together. So of course, when you are interested with some product, you're forgetting, I want to do this, and then you are not aware of the dangers. So need from a more like neutral view to help you to give perspective. You get to be aware of this one, you have to be aware of one, you have to be notice this one, to minimize the risk. And that's the role of our function as a professional. And this is what happened in my job also. We do that. We do some retainer, for example. Some business from the beginning we can work together. So, of course, easily for me to see the big picture, what's going on, and then the gesture, how, Indonesian, because they say, yes, we can do, we can see that they will not do that. But Korean ignore that one. He said, he do that, but, that's not going to be work. That kind of thing, a function that we can do.
It's very important to find a good partner to work together, but from my experience as well, it's not easy to find a good partner.
Yeah.
And of course, what is the best way to make an investment in Indonesia? The direct investment or joint venture? It's a quite big question.
Yeah, it's difficult
It depends
because
on the sector of cooperation.
if you have a good partner, it's better to get a joint venture. But if not, then it's better to do it yourself. And you need the help from professional who can give you view. As I say, the best one is find the good partner. But even you could not get a good partner, please find help from professional, where help you to give at least a second opinion. You need to consider before make a final decision, because as a professional we can see from a different angle, which is sometimes when you are getting very close you cannot see the dangers. So that could be an help. And then as you question that whether it's good to direct investment, in Indonesia there is no other option. You have to go direct investment, either partnership or you establish your own, because the company have to go direct investment.
Well, for more specific aspects of business deal, my colleague.
Yes.
So I'd like to ask you one sensitive issue: defense cooperation. Personally, I was very happy and privileged to have defense the deal of T-50 supersonic trainer as well as submarine in 2013 and 2014. It was the first case of Korean export of advanced weapon system abroad. So Indonesia was the first partner of the advanced the weapon system of the supersonic trainer as well as submarine. And now we are working on the next generation, the fighter jet program. In Korea we call it F-21 program. And the cooperation is on stalemate right now. And it could be a quite sensitive issue in Korea-Indonesia partnership, even during the 쁘라보워 administration. So it's a quite sensitive area. So it's quite difficult to make the comment officially. But I'd like to ask you your personal opinion or personal impression. The cooperation in the field of advanced weapon is very important to both sides. And I imagined you might have your own concern or worries about this cooperative project. What is the impression or worries, if you have any, in Indonesia side? So I'd like to ask you your personal impression.
Yes. Well, military industry, generally not many common people, getting into.
It's confidential.
Because confidential, thing. Suddenly, we will buy this here and we will buy this here. That's the government decision and very high top decision maker. And then for Indonesian in general, let's say, as a common people, we don't really much distinguish because we don't know. But what we generally know is American product is top in terms of military, superior. So in the middle, because America and Korea are close enough, so people can associate the technology between America and Korea. If you can elaborate that one, that could be acceptable. meaning that, well, the knowledge between the technology.
We call it interoperability.
Yeah.
Professional terminology.
Okay, yeah, I think that way it's more like how to convince, right?
Yeah.
Because I believe the technology in Korea also is quite high. So in terms of technology, I don't think an issue, but the decision-making process internally, it's really complicated. In Indonesia, I think in most of the country too, because there
are many stakeholders.
You know what they want, an internal, and then that's an issue. That's an issue, in my view. So I personally, I know Korea, and then how we feel. Korea, for example, like the Japan industry is also developed well. So there shouldn't be an issue if we are working together. But the decision process making is really complicated in terms of defense.
Well, the new president 쁘라보워, when he was defense minister, participated in the launching ceremony of the first the F-21 jet fighters.
Yes.
So I hope we'll find the very mutually agreeable solution on this particular program, and which will be a big boost for our partnership in the future.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So I think you know well that the one who make a decision is him. Whenever he say yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bariga. And
no problem, Ambassador Kim. Thank you very much.
To another topic, which is most important to a businessman.
Okay.
Okay, let me introduce
Yes.
Dr. Ong. She just back from Indonesia.
How you do?
kemarin pagi saya datang dari Jakarta.
Waduh, selamat datang ke Korea.
아유, 인도네시아 사람 다 돼서 왔네요.
바하사가 르비를 안 자르니까.
She's orang Indonesia.
아니 나 진짜 한국에서
한국말이 잘 안 나와.
아니 고민분들 많이 만났는데 저한테 그저께 헤어지면서 마지막 이제 사람들이 잘 다녀와요.
Probably 20 or 25 more minutes.
Oh yes, yes. We will done.
너무 웃겨가지고.
I hope my comments are helpful.
시험 될까? 네. Selamat sore.
Selamat sore.
Yes, good afternoon. And again, thank you for your time and effort to come all the way to here and sharing your episodes and experience with us. Actually, slightly in line with what we just discussed during that previous session. I'd like to ask you some perspectives in the era of the new leadership in Indonesia, focusing on some business landscape. And other than the three areas the Chairman Kim just mentioned, the electric vehicles, infra and defense, do you think what will be some promising sectors Korean companies can tap into Indonesia?
Yeah, this is not easy because if we know which one is promising, people will go there. But what we can start from what the Indonesian need.
Okay.
Yeah, other than you're already aware in power already we've been there. But food is the issue in Indonesia. Food. Yeah. You see, agriculture. Indonesia actually is still agriculture. But if you see, I would say there's not much improvement in technology in agriculture. We claim a long time ago we self-sustainable in our food. And then when President Jokowi 10 years ago make also a kind of a target to be self-sufficient, less import. But for today, we are the largest importer rice in the world. This is ironic.
Yes.
So, no matter what, food is an issue. Recently, I met also some Korean investors who are interested in agriculture. What they're interested in is they have dalgi, strawberry. Strawberry, Korean strawberry is popular in Indonesia. And then the market is huge. So they want to bring, Korean dalgi to Indonesia. You see? It is interesting. And then the market is huge. This is just an example. And how Korean here you can produce rice, of course with some subsidy, and then how you can see farmers, their welfare is good. But in Indonesia there might be some issue. So probably government will be interested if foreign investment can cooperate with the local, because this area also some restriction.
Yes.
But the previous government talked about food estate. I don't know, I could not conclude what would the result.
Okay.
But that area probably will attract the government attention if you willing to focus on that, because that issue has been failed. I mean, they could not resolve, then they really need it. If someone can introduce and we cooperate together, I think government would help in some policy for that one.
Actually, your story actually just reminded me of some startups, Indonesian startups in the field of agriculture or aqua.
Yes.
Because, be honest with you, I also see some kind of room for improvement
Yes.
in Indonesia, the first industry, right?
Yes.
The agriculture and the forestry and the aqua field. So some startups in that field, they also try to import technology, like IoT technology, to their business, and so that they can increase the productivity of the agricultural production, aqua production, right?
Yes.
So because it has been not so good so far.
Yes.
So before the pandemic, around 2018, 19, 20, what I was told that they got huge investment from VCs or some CVCs, but unfortunately, none of them are so successful.
Yes.
Because at first they may draw some attention from VCs or other investors, but they are basically not C2C, like it's a kind of B2B, and so their public awareness is not so high.
Yes.
So as time went by, they kind of had a hard time to get more investment, and at the same time they don't really produce good result. So unfortunately not so successful so far.
Yeah, we have to look at what was the factors that of the failure factors. But in addition to that one, there is an area which has not been actually explored much, the coastal economics.
Coastal economics,
which is just give a very simple illustration. For example, there are many fisher workers from Indonesia working now for Korean fishermen.
Sure.
They pay 10 times higher than Indonesian worker. The same industry, the same product. How could Korean pay 10 times Indonesian workers? Just a fisherman here, while we have a lot of, fish and sea, but that area is the most poor community. But that's an issue. I mean, of course, this is not social work. Business, we look at business, but I think there is some business that have to be developed, and then the government should be focusing and help with kind of policy.
Yes, just I think for that field, for that area, we need some initiative should be taken first between the two countries, the government first, like Korean government, Indonesian government, they make a kind of deal or whatever contract. Then the private sectors, the business, they step
Yes.
make a step to
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah, probably maybe ODA.
Yeah.
ODA project, you can start with that one
Sure.
to initiate and cooperate with the government. That this initiative will later open the door for business.
Yes.
I think that would. I think the government know how to open the door by making this kind of ODA, and then through that project, other businesses will come to
Yeah.
grab some potential. Yes. Yes.
And my second question, actually, as you see, I brought some questions,
yes.
but fortunately or unfortunately, the second session I think covered pretty much of my questions
Okay.
already. So I'd better I wanted to share some my own experience in doing business in Indonesia,
Yes.
and also want to exchange some ideas with you on that. And actually, you talked about the importance of a second opinion,
Yes.
right? While the Korean business want to make an entry into Indonesian market,
Yeah.
and actually I couldn't agree you more
Yes.
because I have experienced the importance of the second opinion
Yes.
too many times over the years. For example, even myself, including myself, when I first met the Indonesian partners, the face to face. We start with some small talks, and the atmosphere in general goes quite smoothly. And I brought up some business issues, and they usually said, "Oh, okay," and Indonesian language, boleh, bisa, right? And so that means
Gampang.
yeah, gampang and mungkin, or sometimes some more like fancy word. And well, at first I thought, wow, that must be a very positive signal. So he or she deliver me the good message, positive message.
Yes.
But yeah, later as time went by, nothing really, nothing really happened. So step by step, I came to realize that this is not really the positive signal to business. Maybe this has been the way Indonesians communicate
Yes.
with not only to foreigners but among themselves.
Yes.
It's like that, and it has been like that over the 100 years.
Yes.
So later, I sometimes communicate with my Korean partners that when Indonesian partners talk about like bisa, boleh, that
Yes.
kind of word, they may say because they want to save your face, or because they are so used to communicating like that. So don't put kind of rely on that too much. The business take time, and they also have to see the possibility of whether this will make a success or not.
Yes.
So yeah, I want also let the Korean business thinking about tapping into Indonesian market about this. Yeah.
Yes. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Because I haven't experienced a lot.
Yeah, sure.
I see all of these ones because the Korean also sometimes stubborn. I would say because of course it's naturally we sometimes we don't want to listen because we see I see something like. But what is the point of a second opinion? Is actually not to prevent, not to stop you to do business, but to give you time to reconsider. Right? It's because I started. I work in Indonesia with Korean company in 2009. 2001, I started working with Korean here in Seoul. 2007.
Yeah.
2007, I worked here, and then I was dispatched to Madagascar. I work in Madagascar also too, and then I come back to Jakarta and work there too. Here is the thing. If you find the good partner and also the good manpower, you can be very efficient.
Sure.
I give an example, just an illustration. The previous company invested $100 million without sending Korean. Can you believe it? Without sending Korean, they can say, when you send one Korean, it's 10,000 a month, US dollar. You see what I'm saying? I was in charge for that one. From the very scratch, find the company, find the starting this one. They only come 2 months just for dinner, and then what's happened, and here, so here. Because we can do, because we trust each other. then how efficient it is. So that's why I'm saying that if you find a good partner, economics is more efficient, and then you can do smoothly. But also there are many cases when we say, oh, that's not going to work, but insisted. So of course, second opinion is not always absolute to be needed, but you need to consider. As I'm saying, this is the function of us as a professional. We can help you. For my case, for example, I'm from legal, I can give a few. From political also, from economic. Because before I worked to law firm, I work as a general manager in business. I do also business investment and such and such. So that kind of sense, not just from legal, I can talk about. Sure. Then something like that.
Yeah. I mean, what I want to talk about now is not only that applicable to business relations between Korea and Indonesia, but in general.
Yeah.
I mean, my experience sometimes that Korean businessmen in general, they tend to be greedy, even at first. I mean, sometimes they are almost rich, like ink a deal, make a deal, make contract, but they ask too much at first. So that makes the Indonesian partners hesitate to sign a contract. So then everything is just scrapped. Nothing will happen. So I want actually tell the Korean businessmen in general, say, please start small. You can't make a big fortune at first try. So step by step. It's like in Indonesia, in the Java language, right? You start small and build trust, then later it will be all paid off, right?
Yes. Of course, it's case by case. I couldn't say all Koreans do that. I mean, no, but there are some they may do. Mm. But the things you point out is very important, starting with small. Mm. You escalate the relationship as you have a long term. Yeah. Because at the very first, we all see it's green. I want to carry it because someone's thirsty to have that one. But there are always a dangers when you do that. So that's why I'm saying that, of course, it's case by case, but it's also it's good advice to suggest to anyone who invests. Then start from small and then escalate, because generally that's how we will, because you don't know. It's not the other party is bad, but also they don't know. Mm. Sometimes we don't assume that, they know because they're Indonesian, they know things. For example, because they're Indonesian, they know the law. No, they don't know the law. So sometime later, after they also got trouble. Oh, what happened? They also don't know. So sometimes we assume something.
Yes.
We assume if this should be the Indonesian side, they should know. They might not know. Mm. That's going to be trouble. Yeah.
And another reason I think to have the reliable business partner in Indonesia is, I mean, for example, the halal certification. Yes. If the Korean business or companies, they do try to the halal certificate, so halal things, it will take long time and cost a lot, and wow, it's so complicated. But if the partner can do that on behalf of the Korean partners, it will make time, it will save time, yes, energy, money, right? So there's another reason we need very reliable local partners.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, but a good thing is now because the halal certificate is now only one dominating by previously only one way. Yes. Now we have many channels, and even in Korea you can do it. So there has been some development on that area that which shortened the period of application for halal. Yes, but that also at one point you mentioned is good. Yeah.
And from your, the years of experience with dealing with the Korean business and Korean companies, can you probably give us some couple of do's or don't do this or don't do this, things like that, especially in the point of kind of some cultures or religious consideration.
Yeah. The first rule is that there is international etiquette, meaning that you do business internationally. If you already have done with other countries, basically the same. We have to respect anyone. This is the value. And then we have to be cautious not to be Korean-centric, because we assumed how we approach people because we are excited. Oh, we're supposed to do this. Is just expressing my closeness, but that could be the opposite result, right? Because there is a mental fixation, meaning that we thought that we will the same response, which is also a trouble. For Indonesian cases, I think because religion plays important role. So you have to pay attention for religious issue, which is some people are very cautious about that one. Other, I think Indonesia also exposed to international practice, business, they can accept as long as you can do with the international practice, which is commonly done, that would be acceptable. But particularly related to religious issue, then you need to be cautious. For example, food, and then with a lady, also, the time of, for example, a prayer. Sometimes we are in the middle of meeting, suddenly they want to get a break. Then we might get mad.
Yeah.
What are they doing? This is important.
Yeah.
For them, religion is more important. Praying is more important than the business. So that's a very simple thing sometimes.
Yeah, simple,
but trouble, right?
Yeah, I think it should be respected.
Yeah, respected. And sometimes when the Korean side was not aware, then he already get mad, and then what is this? And then the mood has been changed, shifted. This is just one example of there are many other cases that you have to be aware of. Yeah.
One thing actually I learned from my experience is that let's say I make some meeting schedule with Indonesian partner 3 p.m. And then I try to be at the venue around 2 p.m. Because Indonesia, especially big cities in Jakarta, usually the traffic is not so good, right?
Yes.
So usually, there's a big traffic jam. So if I try to be there in 2 p.m., sometimes I make it 2 p.m. Then I just have some time to kill with a cup of coffee. It's okay. But if I arrive there in the past 3 p.m., then it make the meeting, the first impression, uncomfortable. So I try to be there earlier possible.
Yes, that's good. I think that's a good point. It's not only for Indonesians, for everywhere. Everybody has.
And last but not least, I want actually, please tell us your initiative, the Indonesia Korean Business Initiative, IKBI, because it sounds like quite important milestone to promote bilateral cooperation.
My personal vision is I want to work between Korea and Indonesia, and I'm lucky I already have a permanent residence. So in the sense that I already have a basis without any issue for the long term, and all my family as well too. And that's also one of the target why I'm come to Korea again, because I came here 2 times. 2004 until 2008. And then Madagascar for 1 year, and then come back to Indonesia, and then 2016 I came here. And then after a certain period of time working in Indonesia, it's been my passion. So I starting from the law firm Indonesian Korean Business Initiative, Indonesian Korean Business Center, but it's very limited because we belong to law firm, so people always assume this is about legal. So if there is no legal problem, they don't need it, right? Until they have a problem. But sometimes it's a waiting problem, and then they already enter into Indonesia. Of course, we can have fun. So I met several people who are also have the same passion, and one of them, my colleague here in Korea, and then also Dr. Purba. I would mention his name. He was a former congressman for 3 terms. And then we started communicating. I've been knowing him for quite a long time when Mr. Kim Jin-pyo visiting Indonesia in 2018. And then he became close friend to Mr. Kim Jin-pyo. And then from time to time they're meeting, and even tomorrow he's going to have another meeting with. So through this kind of connection, not only for that one, we also have many. We find out that kind of issue, how to mediate. Of course, there is an official channel between the government. You can ask to BKPN, but there is also some room where you need more like flexibility beyond that kind of government. So we are kind of supporting also that one. Of course, we respect the government have a role for that one, but private to private assistance also needed.
Yeah.
We launched that kind of. So four of us make an agreement. Why don't we start the initiative? And we launched it in July. This year.
July.
And we invite also the ambassadors from Indonesia and some also VIPs from Korea to launch it. And now we are starting connecting. Many people are now connecting, talking, asking, introducing this one. So, for example, last visit when the Prime Minister visited Jakarta, there was also round table talk in the embassy, which is also part of our initiative. So we initiated from the back because Dr. Purba and we invited the High Provan, which is the chairman of the parliament too. And then there was also the chairman of the Indonesian Business Association. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Minister of Investment also investment. So there was a delegate we initiated. And I think Prime Minister was also happy to have that kind of initiative. And from Indonesian side, we tried to connect. And through this kind of initiative, how we connect. And then, who knows, like say in several areas, we can have like a Korean honorary council where we can also maybe help for to help Korean business in the region. Because if we see now, most of the Korean are concentrated in Java, right?
Yes.
Not in the region, but business actually also in the region. Of course, money is there, but actually the activities done. So in the future, I guess we may encourage Korean to do investment in the local. Then, if you go to the local in particular, you may need some help.
Sure.
So that kind of an honorary council where some Korean who really passionate, some Indonesian who really passionate to help with this one could be a good help. Yeah. And then, we just also at the beginning. Then hopefully we'll continue doing this one. So we are now have office in Korea, in Jakarta, Medan, and Surabaya. We are connecting this one. So we have our team now with that one. Very intense then. And thanks to Dr. Purba, who also have a very wide network, because she was in the national level for 15 years as a parliament, so it may help sometimes.
Sounds very meaningful step forward.
Yes. So of course we can cooperate together.
Last but not least, do you have anything to add to your speech? I mean, you have your own YouTube channel, right?
Yes, my own.
Promote.
Yes, this is really it's an honor for me, and thank you, Ambassadors Kim and Mr. Pang, and Mr. Kim Yong-so, another Kim, who invited me this one. I think I'm really encouraged because this is one of my vision. How can I be an assistance to both countries, either Indonesian businessmen and Korean businessmen? So through, of course, this forum and through our law firm, or through the initiative we can do, if anyone need, for example, some advice or assistance, we will be happy to help. I have my own channel, which is Indonesian Advocate in Korea. Advocate Indonesia in Korea. Di Korea. Advocate Indonesia di Korea. Advocate Indonesia di Korea.
Okay.
That was actually for educational purpose. I have some information there for Indonesian because it's in Indonesian, but sometimes also we do in Korean. I'm still working on my Korean, but my dream, I one day have a YouTube in Korean. Working on that one. That is something I have to work on. But maybe you need to be patient to wait maybe another year to have this kind. If I could that, because I found out now I have a handicap in between, because my language is just intermediate level, not sufficient enough to convey ideas like this one. In English I'm a little bit confident, but in Korea I'm not. But anyway, thank you very much for inviting me and this opportunity.
Our pleasure, and thank you for coming all the way here. Your time and the kindness and the good expertise on your field.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
목사님 와서 한마디만 하시죠.
아니,
하나가 있으니까.
근데 아까 질문을 이미 해서 actually I prepared the one question about the halal certification, but both of you.
Already answered, yeah.
And then, but recently I visited the Jakarta and Sumatra, many areas, and then I met the many Korean businessmen and women in Jakarta. Exactly, and then they worried about the 쁘라보워 government because the most things nowadays the Korean residents in Jakarta their business is not only the big company but also very the intimated areas like the restaurant, the pizza local massage shop, something like, and then most of them worried about the halal certification or halal discipline will be strengthened under the 쁘라보워 government compared with the nowadays or in the past. And then about the halal certification, we think about usually the food sector, but your law on halal certification exactly include not only food but also pharmacy, even up to clothes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So many small businessmen worried about that. So how do you think the halal certification process or halal discipline or regulation will be strengthened or not?
Well, I don't know why Koreans have concern with that issue. Maybe some rumor. But think about this. Halal certification is a big business. So those who are now competing to get a client try to push it. Because in the past, only ulama MUI can issue it. Just, here is money is come and then it's a lot of money already.
Yeah.
But now so many people already have, some organization try to get a license to give a recommendation for halal certificate. And this is a big business.
Big business.
In that case, they will ask somebody, how is it? It is the interest of business, not 쁘라보워 interest. 쁘라보워 doesn't care about it, halal, because his family is, Catholic, Protestant, he's Muslim, he's not from all of this. It's not his interest. So it's a business issue. Maybe somebody make a rumor and then you will always care about it, something. Yeah. This is my view. I might be wrong, but I think if you see fact, then why 쁘라보워 should be care about halal issue?
Policy was made already several years ago.
Several years ago.
Administration. Implementation was just postponed.
Yeah, suspended 2 years.
The Korea's halal certificate is recognized by Indonesia.
Yes, very cooperative.
Yes.
With the mutual recognition.
Yes.
So if you get the halal certificate in Korea, by
No issue.
the association here, Korea, then it will be recognized.
But you see how they do business. They give certificate yearly basis. Every year you extend money.
Linear fee.
Little fee. Sure.
Very smart business.
Right? And then millions of businesses they need to do the one. But I'm not saying that it's not going to be, but of course we have to follow regulation. This is my suggestion, not because Prabowo, not because somebody, but we have to follow regulation if that's required, because it's not the idea of Prabowo, right? The halal certificate is not the idea of Prabowo. It's nothing to do with Prabowo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Finish.